I'm completely tuned out of this Cardinals game. You figure after some Las Vegas uh, rig jobs in the morning, like the Panthers losing against the Saints, the Bills losing against the garbage Dolphins, the afternoon just was uh, the afternoon cap of games was basically the recovery time. Yeah, you can't have the public lose too much. If they lost pretty big in the morning, the Jacksonville Jaguars losing to Davis fucking Mills. I mean, that was a Vegas job too. So it's no surprise that the public, they win big in the afternoon where every game is going as expected. The Seahawks to beat the Cards on a short week, Washington to beat a team without Daniels, and San Francisco's really beat up, but obviously the Rams beat up San Francisco pretty big. So, that's not a surprise as well. So the games are blowouts and they're boring. And basically, this segment is fraud talk. And basically, I'm going to go through every single team that is a fraud. Every single one of these first teams listed have zero chance of making it to the Super Bowl. And I realize I'm missing one other team on there in the title, the Chargers. The Chargers are not frauds. The Chargers are contenders because Jim Harbaugh is a winning coach. And they had a good defensive unit and they beat Kansas City. So the Chargers are a contender, even though I don't believe they have any chance of going to the Super Bowl this year. But starting off with the Indianapolis Colts, that is a fraudulent operation. I mean, who the garbage Colts have? Who have they beaten? You lost garbage Steelers defense. I mean, you guys are frauds. You are not a contender. You are a pretender. It's a good story, Daniel Jones. Okay, glad his career is back on track. And the Giants really did have a terrible offensive line. But narrowly beating a garbage ass Falcons team, I mean, you only beat Tennessee. You should have lost against Cardinals if it weren't for the refs. You lost against the Rams. It was an off game for the Chargers. That was a con job. That was a rig job. That was get people to get hyped up for y'all before you play the Kansas City Chiefs. Are you beating the Kansas City Chiefs? Of course you're not beating the Kansas City Chiefs because you're a pretender. Who have you beat? You beat the Titans. You beat the Falcons. You beat the Raiders. You beat the Titans. You beat the Denver Donkeys. That one you were very lucky to win. Oh, an encroachment call on a field goal miss. When do you ever see a game-defining encroachment call? This Colts team is mid. They're good. They're good for winning games, but they're not a championship operation. I do like watching Jonathan Taylor. They got some good dogs up front, but this team is a pretender. Danny Dimes in the playoffs against elite quarterback, just nah. He may be getting carried by Jonathan Taylor a little bit. After all, this guy has 15 rushing touchdowns, and we're not even at mid-November yet. So, yes, Colts are pretenders. They are a fraud. The Denver Donkeys. You are a fraud team. This offense is a joke. Now, I will hand it to your defense. Your defense is good, but overall, you are a fraud team. Who the hell have the Denver Donkeys beaten all season long? I don't know if it's because of the lighting in my background. I don't know if you're able to see this. So, okay, Bengals with Jake Browning. Oh, you barely beat the New York Jets and the biggest trash quarterback, Justin Fields. Oh, they played against Davis Mills last week? I didn't realize they played against Davis Mills. Yeah, you guys are trash. You almost lost to the New York Giants. I mean, you're a joke. You're a joke. Yes, the New York Giants, the the Bengals without Joe Flacco, with Jake Browning. They only beat Cam Ward by one score, a rookie quarterback in his first ever start. This Broncos team is a fraud. They are not beating the Kansas City Chiefs next week. You're not beating Kansas City. The Broncos are a fraud. Of course your defense looks good when you play garbage all season long. Oh, yeah, you guys lost against the Chargers. What was their other loss? They lost against the Chargers, right? They lost against one of the only good teams they've played all season long. What was the other team? You barely beat Geno Smith by 3 points. The worst goddamn offensive line. You should be ashamed. You only beat the Dallas Cowboys, for crying out loud. But we did beat the Eagles at Philadelphia. Oh, that was a rigged job. Get the fuck out of here. You were losing, 17-3? That was a rigged job by Las Vegas. That was a scripted comeback rigged job by Las Vegas. Nobody was taking Denver against Philadelphia. That was a con job by Las Vegas. You only won with the help of Vegas. So don't give me all that you beat the Eagles by chance. No, you didn't. That was another one of these scripted comebacks because the NFL is entertainment at the end of the day. So, yeah, the Denver Donkeys are a big, giant fraud of a team that has zero chance of making it back to San Francisco. Fraud number 3, the Buffalo Bills. Your defense is garbage. Your offense is mimic. You lost against the Atlanta Falcons. You lost against the Falcons. How you lose against that? I saw them against the injured San Francisco team. This team is ass. And Michael Penix, he can't throw. His little soft, little slow motion. His throwing motion is not quick. It's too slow. It's not like he doesn't have playmakers. I mean, the Falcons are garbage. How do you lose against an injured? Didn't they lose 30-0 against Carolina? This is who Buffalo lost to. Have they even had any? You guys got embarrassed by Kansas. Okay, you beat Kansas City. Okay, but it's only the regular season. What have you really done in the playoffs? Let's not forget all the garbage the Buffalo Bills have played. You lost against garbage Dolphins. You only beat Carolina. You beat the Saints. You beat the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, you beat the Jets. How many good wins have you had? Oh, but they did beat Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. Come on, hand it to them a little bit. I call bullshit again. Because that game was rigged. The Bills' defense is garbage. That part of that game wasn't fake. The Ravens' offense is balling. That part's not fake. That was another scripted, dramatic comeback because NFL's entertainment does a scripted comeback for Las Vegas. So, yeah, that game was rigged. That game was rigged for the people operating both under the table and legally in Las Vegas. So, no, you don't get any credit for beating Baltimore in a rigged, scripted game. Derrick Henry sold that game. The Ravens sold that game. The Buffalo Bills have proven they were a fraud just based on how they've done ever since that complete fraud of a rigged, scripted comeback in week 1. Bills, who have you beat? The answer is nobody. Nobody. Frauds. No wide receiver, no defense, no nothing. Hero ball with Josh Allen. This is all they have. Seahawks manufactured. Minnesota, for some reason, didn't want this guy. J.J. McCarthy's a joke. He did nothing in college. This guy is what some people speculate is white privilege. He does nothing for the national championship team. He hardly throws any passes. He's a mediocre quarterback to begin with. He's nothing but a 6th-round project game managing quarterback. The only other team that would draft him in the 1st round is the Cleveland Clowns. They're the only team that would take him in the 1st round. I bet you it's the Cleveland Clowns. But for some reason, the Vikings decided not to take him, and he went to Seattle. And the defense is good, but who have they really beat? They're not beating the Lions or the Packers or the Eagles. They hardly had any big win against the best teams in the NFC. The only good quarterback you lost to was Baker. Seahawks are a fraud scam of a team. Oh, well, we did beat the Cardinals. We did beat the Texans. We did beat the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. We did beat the Commanders. They were terrible to begin with. They are nobodies. Look at how they doing this week. Don't give me no quarterback. But Jaden, they look terrible. Terrible team. You only beat the Saints. Okay, your only good win is against the Steelers, but they are frauds as well. They're the worst top 5. They're one of the bottom 5 defenses in football, as I have shown. You've beaten nobody. You didn't beat the Ravens. You didn't beat the Chiefs. You didn't beat the Bills. You didn't beat the Eagles. You didn't beat the Bucs. You didn't beat Baker. You didn't beat the Lions. You didn't beat the Packers. You couldn't even beat a healthy 49er team. Seahawks, frauds. You'll never make it to a Super Bowl again after you've got lynched in the Super Bowl by Pete Carroll. Should have ran the damn ball to Lynch. Seahawks are frauds. They will never make it back after the worst play call in the history of the Super Bowl. Show me you a fraud or not against the LA Rams. Did I list the Rams in my title? They look good, but they're clearly cooked. They're not going to beat the Eagles or the Lions or the Packers. Does that mean the Rams are frauds? No. Matthew Stafford's having a big year. They really should have beaten the Eagles. And if you only beat the Ravens because Lamar didn't play, the Ravens defense pretty much shut down Matthew Stafford. Well, you only beat the Colts because a retarded wide receiver forgot to cross the ball over the play and before he celebrated. Well, you beat the Browns, beat the Texans, you beat the Titans. That's all you beat. Hold on. An injured 49ers team beat you in overtime at home. You should be embarrassed. Oh, the Jaguars, forget about them. Oh, we're beating San Francisco. Big deal. Isn't Fred Warner hurt now? No, you guys are a fraud. Okay, fraud talk post-ball. Let me see how you do against the Bucs before I judge if you're a fraud down the long run. Let me see how you do against the Bucs and the Lions. I will reserve judgment for the Rams. Did I go through all? New England are frauds. I talked about New England, did I? Yeah. They're frauds. A rookie quarterback. As far as contender goes, Patriots are certainly a fraud. I will give them that they beat Buffalo, but they are a fraud team. Again, if you beat Tampa, this is why Tampa Bay is not the top 3 teams in the NFC, because they don't have any quality wins to date this year. I mean, they lost against the Eagles. Who else did they lose to? They lost to the Lions, right? It seems like They just haven't beaten an elite team yet. I mean, they did beat a fraud team. Seahawks are a fraud team, so they did beat a fraud team. Okay, those teams, the frauds. I'll add Steelers on there too. Frauds, terrible garbage. You hardly beat any good team, and don't give me the fact that they beat the Indianapolis Colts. No, they're a fraud team as well. Show me what you got against Baltimore, against the Packers, against the Bills, against the Lions, against the Chargers today. I have to see more from this team of frauds in Pittsburgh. Okay, the fraud portion is certainly far more entertaining. Okay. What about the Contenders? Well, you see, Lions are going to be a contender. You see, they made it to NFC Championship game. They rebounded pretty well from starting 1-0. What can you say about them? They're the number 1 seed, but 18 injured players on defense. So at the end of the day, the Lions are a contender. The Eagles are Super Bowl champions. That makes them a contender. They destroyed the NFC in the playoffs last year. Anytime you have Micah Parsons, Jordan Love's wide receivers are not injured in the playoffs. But the thing about the Packers is that they had too many injured wide receivers. And honestly, they gave the Eagles a close game last year in the playoffs. But the Micah, 4th down, he got the first down. Holy smokes. Here comes the bride. Oh, fuck this team. But going back to the Green Bay Packers. No, yeah, Matt LaFleur. Anytime you've got playoff experience, I like Matt LaFleur. I mean, there can't be any excuses for him to not make it to a Super Bowl within the next 3 to 5 years. I mean, it's what are we in year 19 or whatever? It's 7 years without a Super Bowl appearance. You gotta get to the Super Bowl. I realize Aaron Rodgers had won Super Bowl in how many years in Green Bay, but they make Jordan Love highest paid quarterback in the league at the time, as far as I'm aware of. You have Micah Parsons. You have Josh Jacobs at the running back position. I think they are contenders. As far as fraud talk goes, if they can't beat, they lost against the Panthers. Yeah, that's pretty bad. You narrowly beat the Cardinals, so you let it slip against Cowboys. You lost against Clowns. I don't think this team will be called frauds when they do beat the Eagles. They'll take 1 out of 2 against, I think, 3 of the top contenders in the NFC, and ultimately the Packers will not be a fraud team by the end of November. So are they frauds? No, they're not. They're a contender. The Lions, let's not forget, they called 0 penalties on Kansas City. And the refs may have something to deal with the Lions losing against Kansas City. And, they did beat the Ravens on the road, So, again, that's why Lions are going to be a contender. I do like the body of work. The Eagles should have beat the Broncos, but again, that was a rigged game. I know, AJ Brown, Eagles, this and that. That's why I don't have them in the Super Bowl. Maybe these lingering problems hurt them in the playoffs, but I mean, you look at them, they beat the Rams, they beat the Bucks, 2 pretty damn good teams, they beat the Chiefs, so, that's why Eagles are a contender. And the Ravens, they are a contender. Lamar Jackson, 56 touchdowns, 5 interceptions regular season. Derrick Henry, the defense only looked bad because of the injuries early on in the season, but now that this defense is healthy, I was proven right. 4 straight games, they hold teams to under 20 points. You have Lamar Jackson, you have These playmakers are healthy. Zay Flowers, Bateman, Andrews, Zay Flowers. They're healthy now on offense and defense. The game against the Bills was weird. The Chiefs game is part of the narrative that Lamar can't beat Kansas City. So that game was weird. If it was the Chiefs' year, the Ravens would have beat them in the regular season. Basically textbook of Buffalo, we beat you in the regular season, we lose in the playoffs. So the Baltimore Ravens are kicking ass, 3 straight wins. Doesn't matter the division. The fact is, Ravens are one of the most talented teams in the league. They have a top 5, top 10 defense. These score lines against the Texans are meaningless. The defense was too banged up. Everyone was not playing, but they realized that they were in a weak division. It's not very important. We have home field in the playoffs, and if Kansas City doesn't win the AFC West and they play the Ravens in the playoffs, they would be playing at Baltimore. So I know how much this division matters to Kansas City, because Baltimore, obviously Pittsburgh is a team of frauds, and we've seen what the Ravens, we've seen what they can do. I mean, the Miami team that they destroyed suddenly destroyed the Buffalo Bills. I mean, that says everything about the Buffalo Bills' fraud status. Bears are a contending team. They beat the Bears with the backup quarterback, the Ravens. They almost beat Buffalo, until the rigging for Vegas happened in the fourth quarter. So I think these teams on the right, these are the contenders. The 2 teams that are not in the title, Steelers are frauds and pretenders. The Chargers are contenders, because I know Jim Harbaugh is the real deal. He's going to deliver a championship to the Chargers at some point in the future. Thanks for joining in to my fraud and contender segment.